Good evening, everybody from South Africa. You are with me, Tina Snell, for episode 21 already of Velospitty Speak Talk. Our guest today, or our episode, is called Goal Directed, and the reason is that our guest is from Ireland, Gabriels Golturenko. Gabby, good evening, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now we will start and loop around to a bit of your history. I just wanted to say I was actually at the track today in South Africa. It's been hot and sunny, which is why it looks like you could boil tea with my nose. But it was great. I met for the first time in real life South African champion Neil van der Vyver, and he's just gone onto the 85, and it was looking good. So yeah, that was it was a good day out. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. I saw when we did your profile, you were born on the 15th of February. Is that right?
Yep,
All right.
2007.
So it's one day after Valentine's Day, so that you got that there, because a Valentine's birth would have been better, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you're quite motocross is known for different nationalities, especially international motocross, different nationalities getting together and moving in different places. But you are a Latvian living in Ireland. How did this come about?
I don't know. I think I was around 9 months old, and my parents just moved over to Ireland, and ever since then, I've just been living in Ireland.
All right, and do you maintain contact with Latvia, and do you speak the language?
Yeah, I can almost speak fluently in Latvian, and all my uncles, aunties, grandparents, cousins, they all live in Latvia.
All right, okay, yeah. We've I've got a good few Latvian friends, and also some very well-known motocross personalities from Latvia. But we'll get around to that later. So just tell us how did you start in motocross? How did this all come about?
Around 9 years old, I don't know why, but I just had a sudden passion for motocross, and I asked for a motorbike, and I got a Chinese dirt bike. It was more of a pit bike, and rode that for a few months. Then got a KTM, 2008 KTM, rode that for a few days, and then entered my first grass track race. And I think I placed fifth out of nine, and yeah, just on from there. And yeah, from 9 years old. So now I'm 13, turning 14.
Okay, well, 9 years old, although for people outside the sport it may not sound like that, but 9 years old is actually a bit of a late start in motocross. Many riders start when they 5, 4. I even one of the girls in South Africa just started, and she's 3, and she's already ripping it up. Would you say you had a disadvantage for starting a bit later, or did you catch up quickly?
Yeah, it was a bit tough for the first year, but I got the hang of it pretty quick, and I could keep up with the top competitors.
All right. Now I mentioned you mentioned KTM as your first say proper dirt bike, but I see behind you you've got something from the KTM family, and something that is very much in the news right now, which is a gas. It's like the bike.
Yeah, I just got it yesterday morning. It's the Gas 125 2021, and yeah, I'm hopping onto a bit early. I'm only going to be turning 14, and I'm already hopping onto the 125, just trying to get used to it quickly and early.
All right. Oh wow! Just on 14, and you're on the 1 to 5 already. And have you had a bit of a go on it already?
Yeah, today just rode around on some sandy fields. Felt pretty nice. A little bit difficult in the sharp corners, but it felt fine.
All right. Wow. Yeah. And no head shake or anything. It didn't give you any nasty surprises.
No, it felt pretty smooth, pretty nice. I love it.
All right. What was the bike that you rode last season?
Last season I rode 2021 85 big wheel.
All right, 85. And how did your season go for you?
It went pretty well. Not much races in Ireland. A few near the end of season, but I did do a few races in England, which was pretty fun. I came. I did the '90s racing championship. I think I did 3 or 4 rounds of them. In the first one, I placed 10th in Ironworks, and then the next ones there was less riders, but I did come first in them.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great. And how would you say is the level in England, say, compared to Ireland?
The England level is a lot higher. The top 5 riders in Ireland would struggle to get in top 10 in England, I feel like.
Right, right. But of course, you've got very, very enthusiastic Irish supporters. Actually, Andy McKinstry has just tuned in. He's the guy that runs Gate Drop, the website, and also the page. Very successful at it is, and he's doing a sterling job for somebody who actually only does it part time. And you know, we remember Andy as just a little fan that used to come around. I used to own a Grand Prix team, and you know, remember him as a fan that used to come around, you know, asking for jerseys and autographs and stuff. You know, but now he's doing a lot for the sport, and that's a good one for the Irish, right?
Yeah.
All right. And now in Ireland, in who are the riders that you would think that would have a chance of kicking it up into a real international level?
Oh, there's a good few. I definitely say there's a person Lennox Dickinson's. He's really good here in Ireland. We have Matthew Beattie. He's hopping onto the 125 now. Um, who else? Our adult riders are really good in here in Ireland, I feel like.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Ireland has got a good history, and we'll come back to you as well. Have you ever thought of doing some races in Scotland? Because you know, our good friend Stuart Flockhart, who's actually a co-founder of this group, you know, he runs the Scottish Championships, and they're doing a lot to promote that championship series as well.
Yeah, I'd love to ride more in England. I feel like the tracks there are amazing and all over England, Scotland, uh, just everywhere in general. I feel like is amazing there in England.
Right now, you speaking about tracks. Do you've got, of course, one of the world's all-time greatest tracks with Desert Martin. But do you have any favorite tracks?
Desert Mountain would be one of my favorites. I don't know. Also, there's a training track called McGilligan. It it would have to be the best training track here in Ireland. It's really deep sand,
Right, right. And how far is that from you?
really far. Since I live center of Ireland, all the majority of the best tracks are Northern Ireland, so it's around 3.5 hours away.
All right. So when you go training, you've got to make a bit of a project of it. It takes some planning, right?
Yeah,
It's not just around the corner.
yeah.
And how often do you go training? Get to riding?
I only get to go weekends. I try to go whenever I have school off during the week. I try to make up for that and go train. But because of the tracks are so far, majority of the time we only get to train on the weekends.
Right, right. Now I see a whole lot of trophies behind you, and number one plates or number one signs. So you've had a bit of success. Which would to you be the highlights of your career?
Um, I did do arena cross in the 65s. I didn't do too great, but I did try to do the supercross. Wasn't for me, but it was at least fun. Uh, in 2018, to represent, I went representing Ireland in Belgium. A race called the Coupe Le Devar. against many other countries, and there was me and two other 65s representing Ireland, and that's the shirt I got from it.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful shirt there, number 30, nice with the Irish flag colors there. Now the Coupe de l'Avenir is a race very well known to me. It's actually referred to as the mini motocross of nations. It's a race that's been going on for many years. In fact, we were kind of tragically reminded of that in the last week because Joël Robert uh, had a huge hand in establishing this race, and he passed away last week. One of the all-time great races. We actually met him at the Coupe de l'Avenir. And it's, as you say, it's a great race. And how did it go for your team at the Coupe de l'Avenir?
The 65s, 85s, we didn't do too great, but the adults won the whole thing, and they dragged us up to the top, and we won that year.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! So you got to taste some podium on that weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, what a great feeling! With all the national flags and everything there, it is really a bit of a special race. Now I must tell you an interesting anecdote. I met one of your greats at the Coupe de l'Avenir in 1997. It was Gordon Crockard, and the Irish team were very well organized there. And I'll never forget, we were there with the South African team, and one of our riders had a Honda 250, and the clutch perch broke, So I was trotting around the pits, asking somebody, just seeing if we could, we from South Africa, there's only so much you can bring in your hand luggage. So we didn't have all the spares, and I went and asked the Irish team if they had a spare clutch, because I saw they had a Honda 250 there. And I asked if they had a clutch perch for us, and like 5 minutes later, one of the guys from the team came and they brought us a whole Honda. They actually brought us a bike, which I thought it was just fantastic, and yeah, we met, and I think they did very well that year as well, because Crockard was really ripping, he's of course still very much involved. He's got a big role with Honda, but I also think with youth development. Have you run across him at any stage?
No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah, because I heard an interview with him a while ago, and he's got a lot to do with the Honda development side, but also in general, on the development of riders. It's very similar to what Stuart Flockhart does in Scotland, and he does fantastic work. Now, having tasted the international racing in Belgium, does it taste like more? Would you like to hop across to Europe more often and do some races?
Yes, definitely. I'd love to go to do more races in Europe. Yeah, they're way stronger competitors, but more of a challenge, and I feel like I can learn a lot more racing against them.
Yeah, because a lot of the guys from the Isles, from England and so, spend time in Belgium, which is where you learn the sand tracks and so on, and it's quite central. You can go to Holland, Belgium, north of France or whatever, and some very good series there are, like, for instance, the Dutch Championships, which are sand, and also the ADAC series in Germany. Now, what is your favorite type of track that you most like?
I definitely love sand. I just love the way it feels. I don't know. I feel a lot more comfortable in the sand than I do in the hard pack.
Right. And it's not often that riders say that, because many, when challenged with real sand, like, Lommel kind of sand, they find it a huge challenge. So it's good that you say that. Now, for this year, are you gonna ride in the 1 to 5 class? So you've jettisoned the 80 now?
Yeah, I think I'm done with the 85s, and I'm going to be going to Latvia this year for around 5 to 6 months, training only on the 1 to 5 and doing races there.
Oh, all right. Well, there's some good championships there, and it's a good time to circle around to what I was meaning to say. I've had good contact with Baltic riders. I had a few Estonian riders in my team, including Tanel Leok, and also a Latvian, in fact, a junior world champion, which was Matis Karo. I don't know if you know Matis.
Yeah.
He was in my team. He came to my team when he was about 15 years old. And of course, one of your favorites riders, Pauls Jonas. Would that still be one of your favorite riders?
Definitely. I love Pauls Jonas. He's also on the gas just like me now. Well, I copied him.
Oh, all right. Well, we must send a note to Gas and say the marketing department is already doing well out of that. And of course, Gas had a huge celebration with the opening of the Supercross. With Barcia winning, being the first major American victory on Gas. So I guess you followed that also, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. Now, we had actually we interviewed a few interviews ago. We interviewed Casey Cochran. He's a young American rider, and he had done so well at the Mini O's, which we reckon, I couldn't find anything to the contrary yet. That were the first titles for Gas at all in the States. So it's clear the brand is starting to catch fire, among the youth as well.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I collected some of your pictures and so on. Now, one of the pictures made me laugh. Your mum posted a picture of saying, yeah, they asked you if you wanted to play rugby, and you said, no, that's going to get you all muddy, and then you come along on the bike and muddy as, right? So, but anyhow, here are some images of you that are just very, very let's All right, Abby, sorry, we lost our connection. Did you manage to see the video clip?
Pardon?
I said, did you see the video clip? Because I was playing it and it kicked me off the server. Did it actually play?
Yeah, it all played through. I've seen it all.
Oh, all right, wonderful. So I don't know what you thought of that. It was just a very very quick edit that we did for you. I'll send you the clip as well, and so that you can use that for yourself later on. Now, with the virus and the lockdown and everything, what is your season looking like? Do you know yet what's going to happen?
Well, hoping to get to Latvia if the airports are still going to be open by March, because that's when we're planning on leaving. Uh, Once I get to Latvia, I think it should be fine, because in Latvia this whole time there has been racing and nothing's been cancelled. Yeah, a few races here and there, but majority of the races are still going on. So once I get there, it should be fine.
Yeah, it's something good to look forward to, and also you can ride kechems and so on, which are Grand Prix tracks. And the other thing is, being in Latvia, is also you have all these Estonian riders, and for some reason, for the size of the country and the size of the population, Estonia has a great number of international level riders. It's a population of only 1.3 million, and they've had many, numerous international riders. Similarly with Latvians. So, when the Estonians come over, it makes for a very, very strong series there. Have you actually competed there before?
Pardon?
Have you actually raced there before?
Yes, last season I did one or two races. Actually, sorry, not last season. The season before that, 2019. I went for only a month or two, and mainly just a bit of training there. But I did try to do a few races there. But the level there is just so much harder than here in Ireland.
Yeah, and as I say, you have Estonians coming across, because it's for them, depending on where in Latvia it is, it's a short hop. The Latvians themselves, they have got strong riders as well. So you have Edvards Binsans, that's the former junior world champion. Unfortunately, he missed the season due to injury, but he's a truly international level rider. And many others, that have done well in the junior world championships and European championships. So, I think it will pull your level up. Do you have a team that helps you in Latvia, or are you just doing it solo?
Yes, I do have a trainer already prepared, and he has his own little training group of a bunch of riders. Majority of them are adults, but I'll just be training with them. I'll be going to the gym with him. We'll be going on bike cycles and all that.
All right, and who is your trainer?
His name is Andris. He's also a Latvian, so that's perfect.
Right. Yeah, and by the way, I don't know if you know that in the past, Latvia was one racing series where Latvia was very strong was in sidecar motocross. I don't know if you followed at the time when they were almost dominant, with Sergis and Rasmanis. Those guys were multiple world champions in the sidecar racing.
No, I don't think I followed him back then.
All right. Yeah, and speaking of trainers, one of our old friends that we met on the GP circuit, Laurens Freibergs, he also has also some training groups, and so I like what I see there. It's like there's a whole movement to promote up and coming and young riders. So that's great. So they're working on the next generation already. Now, if it came time to be selected for a Motocross of Nations team for you at some stage in the future, what would it be, Latvia or Ireland?
Pardon? Sorry, it's just really like
if you could be selected for a Motocross of Nations team in future, which country would it be, Latvia or Ireland?
Oh, I don't know. I'd maybe been riding most of my life in Ireland, so I might just have to stick with Ireland.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's I would suppose that's kind of the homeland. Now, speaking of Latvia, have you guys attended a Grand Prix in Latvia at Kichems or something like this?
Pardon?
Have you attended a Grand Prix in Latvia, a motocross Grand Prix before at Kichems or something like that?
Um, no, not really.
Okay. Have you been to any Grand Prix at all?
I've been at a Grand Prix track, which was Kiegums, but I haven't actually been to any races.
Okay, but do you follow the MXGP series? You know
Yeah.
when it's being broadcast. All right, yeah, that's very exciting racing. And do you follow the AMA as well, the American series?
Yes, I do follow them too.
All right. Do you have some favorite riders in America? Oh,
Um,
you said Ken Roxon before, right?
yeah, Ken Roxon has been an all-time favorite for me.
All right. Well, actually, if you dig deep in my YouTube channel, there are a few interviews that I did with Ken Roxon when he was more or less your age. So there's something interesting to look back on. When he was just hitting the 1 to 5 European Championships or something like that. So he was 13, 14 ish because he just waited. His birthday is on the 29th of April, I think. And I think the minimum age for GP was 15, and he literally missed a GP. And then I think on his birthday, a day after his birthday, he managed to slip into the GPs. So yeah, he's a phenomenal rider. I saw him first at a track called Eichwald. He was 9 years old. He got special permission to ride in the ADAC series. He was tiny, 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 just 2 bricks and a tiki high, but he gave it berries. He was really, really quick. Now, just about your family, just what's the family setup there? Mother, sister, father, goldfish, chicken. What all have you got there?
Pardon?
I say, what does who does your family consist of? I saw you had some pets, and you have, I think you have a sister, right?
Yeah, I have, well, my mom, my dad, and I have two sisters, my younger sister and my older sister.
Oh, all right, okay. So you're in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, and I saw one of the pictures. You had a very beefy cat, a gray cat that looks like it could have been related to Garfield, right?
Pardon?
I say you had. I saw in your pictures you had a very beefy cat, a gray one that looks like it could have been related to Garfield.
Yeah.
All right, and I saw a little doggy as well with one of the pictures. Now, interesting thing, when we did your profile, one of the hobbies that you wrote down is that you like drawing. Is it something that you spend some time on?
Yeah, I do, since I'm in secondary school, as one of my choice subjects, I also chose art, and I've liked art from, I don't know, since I was 7, 8. I've always loved art and drawing
All
and
right, and have you produced any works that's going to make it into a museum already?
pardon?
I say, have you produced any great artworks that's going to make it into a museum already?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. What kind of art? What kind of subject matter do you like?
What kind of artwork?
Yeah.
So some people like to do cartoon and stuff, but I'm not really a big fan of that. I like to draw everything that's really realistic with all the details and all the shading and all of that.
All right. Well, you must send along some of your work, and we'll feature it. And actually, there's a group on Facebook that you might want to check out. It's called Hyper Realism. Hyper realistic. It's like it's incredible. It's stuff that looks like it's photographs. And I can't draw 2 straight lines. So to me, everything is great. Now, with your racing, who are your sponsors and people that help you mainly?
Pardon?
I say, who are your sponsors and people that help you with your racing?
Uh, I have a few sponsors. Probably one of my main sponsors is where my dad works, Weldon Motors.
Right. And your gas, did you get it from your gas you got from a local dealer there, right?
Sorry, you're very laggy. It's very hard to hear.
Uh, sorry, I say your gas you got from a local dealer there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, any case, it's been fantastic to speak to you. And we'll upload the video on the Youth Force Racing page and also on Instagram, and it will also be on my YouTube channel. So thank you, and we'll keep following and see how your season goes. And see how it goes in Latvia, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Are there any friends that you want to give a shout out to?
Where I train on his field, Owen Archer. I'd like
All
to
right.
tag him.
All
And
right.
also a big help with all my motocross stuff, my big sister, Samantha.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, by the way, just the thing, in our group we cover motocross, but also road racing. And so, do you follow? Do you follow road racing as well?
Not really. I did follow that a bit before I started motocross. I think I was at the Scaries 100 when, and I
Right.
remember Ryan Dunlop, I think, raced that back then. Or sorry, not Ryan Dunlop, Michael Dunlop.
Right, right, yeah, because the Dunlops are, I mean, they legends. Joey Dunlop and all the Dunlops, they Irish, absolute Irish legends, And there's a young lad, little bit younger than you, that's making his way. He's going to be in a Red Bull Rookies Cup this year. His name is Casey O'Gorman, and a very very talented young man. So you keep an eye out for him. Yeah, and that's going to give you some Irish pride. But any case, Gabby, thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I say, we'll keep following and see how you guys go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And just for our viewers, keep a lookout for news of more interviews. We are trying to pin down a junior Moto 3 world champion. We'll just see if we can get this done within the next week or two. And also a former junior motocross world champion. And until next time, it's me, Tina Snell, signing off.